Hey, what's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to another edition of Lisa Renee TV. If you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please do. And of course, if you like what you see, then definitely hit the like button and share the video on all your social media networks, of course. Okay, so welcome back to the channel, you guys. I'm so happy to be back, of course. So this video is on a topic that I think I may have covered very lightly before in a past video. So this is about modesty and what it really means. Okay, so this is based on an article that my friend actually sent to me on Facebook, and I was looking at the article and I thought it was amazing. And it's by Rachel Held of Evans. And I was reading the article and I just thought it was just fantastic. I said, well, finally someone has spoken up for us. Finally, somebody has said something about the topic. And of course, we women, we've heard the term modesty kind of tossed about, throughout the years, right? And when we hear modesty, we kind of think of maybe like church, right? Because it has a lot of religious backing to it. It's mentioned in the Bible and the New and Old Testament, of course, several times. And so, it usually comes from that, and we hear it. We think modesty, basically, we think anti-slut. Basically, like, non-slutted, non-slutty, that's what we think automatically. The opposite of a slut. The opposite of like what we're supposed to be. The a good girl. That's what modesty is supposed to be about. And I think like it's complete bull. And that's kind of what she was saying. In so many words in the article. What it gets made out to be. So, I do have some notes here, and just some of the things that she mentioned in the article. And this is actually a verse from the Bible, which kind of tells us really what modesty really means in biblical terms. So this is First Timothy 2, verse 9 through 10. So it says, I also want the women to dress modestly with decency and propriety, adorning themselves not with elaborate hairstyles or gold or pearls or expensive clothes, but with good deeds appropriate for women who profess to worship God. So that's what modesty really is. So as you notice in that verse, and what was he talking about? He was really talking about materialism, right? More so, not necessarily sexuality, but really just all about being a good person, being a decent person on the inside. So really more so like an inner beauty kind of thing. And the Greek word translated modesty is cosmos, derived from cosmios, derived from cosmos, which means the universe. So it signifies orderliness, self-control, and appropriateness. It appears 2 times in the New Testament, and actually the second usage refers to men. So nearly all the Bible's instructions regarding modest clothing refers not to sexuality but to materialism, which is what I just said. Okay, so that's mainly what it really is when you kind of when you really look at these verses and you kind of interpret them on, for your own, and I mean, I've had my own like little, struggles with it too, and like I think it kind of enlightened me just look at the articles. I'm like, I really didn't know what that meant. Like, I mean, because nobody tells us this stuff. Nobody's ever sat down with us and really explained, hey, this is what modesty really means. Because everybody got you thinking that modesty is all about just having your skirt a certain kind of way, like having this really long skirt on as opposed to having a shorter skirt on, or wearing a certain top, or not showing too much cleavage. And that's what we really think of it, as. And she brings up 3 points that she talks about in the article. So the first one was turning modesty. We turn modesty into objectification when we hold women responsible for the thoughts and actions of men. And that's something that really irritates me. And she mentioned how that's not really fair. Basically she's saying women are not responsible for, a man being attracted to them or, turned on by them or by how their bodies look, how sexually attractive they are. And I think that's something that society doesn't realize what they're doing, but they do make us responsible. Like we're always kind of at fault. It's like if a guy is catcalling or looking at us a certain kind of way in a sexual nature, we're kind of like responsible for his lust, and that's a huge thing that was discussed in the article, and I'm going to post the article below, of course, so you guys can read it for yourself. But I don't want to give away too much. I'm just just telling you a few points, but I want you to read it for yourself. But I think it's horrible, how we're that responsibility, that burden is kind of on our shoulders, and it's kind of always been that way. Anytime we are looked at, lusted after by a man, it's kind of it's our fault. And like attraction is a natural biological response, which is what she was saying in the article. It is natural. We all, male, female, we're attracted to each other just by nature in general. I mean, you see somebody you like, and with us, we see a man got muscles or look a certain way, like, hey, daddy, hey, like, we're attracted, right? And it's okay to look, it's okay to be attracted, but the attraction, it turned into lust when you're kind of coveting the woman's body as like property almost, or you looking at it like it's kind of going to a deeper realm when you're talking lust. It's like he's like he wants you, like he wants to come after you almost. Okay. And that's when you may get the cat calls, or you may get a stalker or something like that. Like it's following you down the street. Like, what the hell? That's when you may get that kind of guy coming after you because he's lusting after you now. So it's getting to another level. But basically they kind of blame a woman because they said, well, maybe if you weren't wearing that short skirt, if you weren't showing off, you weren't wearing those tight leggings, those yoga pants you got on, showing off all your booty and your breasts, and your cleavage weren't popping out in his face, then maybe you wouldn't have gotten followed home from work, or he would have said those things or hollered those things out at you. You did something to bring this on, and that kind of plays along with when you think of the cases of rape and sexual abuse as well. Women have been blamed for that for years because of their bodies and how their bodies are shaped, how they're dressed. It's like it's kind of our fault, and we're like, really? So I'm getting blamed, you know, for him being an asshole because I'm me. Oh, okay. And you're like, I'm just being me, I'm just being Lisa here, but you're responsible for that and in some kind of way, and that is not right, that's not fair at all. So that's a huge societal problem that women are facing and have been facing, for a while. Another point she brought up was turning modesty into objectification when we assume that there are single standards that apply to all people in all cultures. So that goes across, like when you think about like in India or in certain places that she said she visited India, and like there are certain places where women like if they wore a one piece bathing suit, like over here in America, like if you see a woman at the beach wearing a one piece, who cares, right? Like we don't care. We wear whatever we want to the beach. But you go to like other places overseas, that would be like, oh my god, she would be stoned to death like she wore a one piece. That's too much over there because that's the culture, right? So that over there may be different. But then again, you may go to another country that's away overseas, and a woman may be wearing like no top at all, breast out, or like a two piece or something, and it may be fine, or no bottom, or and it may be okay, but she may not be objectified. But there are certain places where women can breastfeed their babies and nobody will say anything about their breasts being exposed. Their bare breasts will be out and nobody will say anything. Like nobody will bat an eyelash because over there, it's a norm. Whereas over here in the United States, if a woman were to breastfeed, like women breastfeed over here in public, yeah, we do, but we cover ourselves because over here, if a woman was to breastfeed, her breasts are all out, she would have hell, or I mean, she would get a lot of attention. She's not gonna like it. People would be disgusted. So it just it's just the struggles that you go through based on the culture you live in. And number three, turning modesty into objectification when we make women ashamed of their body. So that's it's a little bit tied into what I said, the first point I brought up. Um, basically, making a woman who's, curved or curvy or, shaped a certain way, kind of making her feel bad. I know I've talked about this a lot, making a woman feel guilty or bad for having a curvy frame, and kind of making her feel, just ashamed, like she has to hide or cover up her figure, or she has to dress a certain way because she feels like, oh my God, I don't want to entice I don't want to have to entice. I don't want to entice the men by accident or by mistake. I don't want to come off slutty, or I don't. Again, other women, may look and judge. Oh, she's just trying to turn them on. Who does she think she is? And oh no, maybe I should wear a jacket around my waist because I don't want them to see my booty, and I don't want them all, just thinking I'm trying to walk in front of them on purpose and turn them on. I don't want them to. Oh, maybe I shouldn't wear this shirt, or I should button up this jacket because I don't want them, I want the breasts popping all out, and I don't want. And it's like you stumbling and tripping all over yourself, and it's like, I mean, what the hell, And I can relate to that, like in my own experience, like. I've dealt with a lot of, self-consciousness and my own issues with modesty, you know, to be or not to be modest, that is the question. I've had the issue a lot. Like here lately, I struggle with that all the time. Every day I go out the house, like I try to figure out what to wear. I'm always like, oh, if I put these pants on, it's kind of fit is going to show off, all your booty and all your curves and your hips and thighs and stuff, and that's cool. But you like, I'm kind of afraid of like what kind of attention I'll get, and like, what people might think, or like when I go in the store, sometimes I may freak out, because I'm like, oh my God, people are looking at you, or you just don't know what they're thinking, or you're so conscious because you're like, I guess, imagining what they're thinking. Like in your mind, you're thinking, I'm sure they're thinking something negative. They're looking at me like, oh my gosh, she's such a whore. Oh my gosh, she looks like a slut. That's not modest. Like she looks scandalous. Like, oh my God, I would never wear that. Oh my God, stone her. Like, and I just be feeling all awkward and crazy, and like it freaks me out. Like really, I'll be at Walmart with my mom having a good time, and I can't concentrate because I'm sitting there like getting eaten alive and swallowed whole by my own self-consciousness, and it just my insecurities, and that's not fair to me. That I have to feel that way. I shouldn't have to feel that way. I feel like no woman, not me, not you, not your sister, your mother, nobody, none of us should have to feel that way. Damn it, no matter how big your butt is, or hips, or how small, or how big your breasts are, whatever, whatever. You should be able to feel beautiful no matter how you look, how you figure is. You feel to go out and wear what you want to wear and feel beautiful. And that's what she said, in the article. She says, embrace your body. God made you. You're beautiful. Don't be ashamed. And also don't dress for men and don't dress for women, just for you. And that's what I had to learn to do. When I started dressing for Lisa, and I've been doing that a lot this year, that was how I would dress for men. I would wear what I thought men liked, and that's another thing that screwed me up. When I started dressing for me, I started feeling better about me. So, I've been feeling pretty good lately, Yeah, I just dress for me. I just wear what I feel. I wear what, I tapped into my style and what I like and what looks good on me, and I go for it. I just go for it. I mean, I just, I take a deep breath. If you shave a certain way, I mean, yeah, you got curves. People going to look. I know men are going to look at me when I go out. They're going to be attracted to me. Women going to look at you too. They might like it too. You never know. And it's okay. People got eyeballs. They go look. But it's okay. I can't let it throw me off. So let me just finish off by reading her last point here that she made. So I do want to read that last point here. Okay, so she said, the truth is, a man can choose to objectify a woman whether she's wearing a bikini or a burqa. We don't stop lust by covering up the female form. We stop lust by teaching men to treat women as human beings worthy of respect. And I said, amen to that. Okay, honey. I said, no truer words have been spoken. That's it in a nutshell, okay? That's it in a nutshell. I said, I can't, she took the words right out of my mouth. I mean, you can't stop lust by just, I'm going to cover up. I'm going to wear a jacket on my waist. I'm going to wear this, I'm going to wear a turtleneck up here. I mean, that's not going to stop him from lusting after me. Because, and another thing she mentioned was you can't hide your curves. You can wear a uniform. You can wear, whether you wear yoga pants or a uniform or whatever you wearing, your curves are going to show. So it's kind of hard to hide them anyway. So what you trying for? You know what I mean? If he gonna be looking and gawking and he gonna say something or whatever, then it is what it is. It's like you can't really hide that anyway. So I mean, let's not even try. So I'm just saying, like, forget it. I'm just gonna be Lisa because it's easier that way. And I suggest you be you too. Cause you fabulous, honey. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this. I'm gonna post that article below. Definitely, I love to hear your comments. Comment. I want to hear what you think, ladies and gentlemen. Like, definitely comment below. Share this video. Share. And yeah, let me know what's up. But thank you guys for watching and enjoy the rest of your week. Bye.